up your volume. The default for Facebook and YouTube is to have the volume muted. So if it's on mute, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up so that you can hear me. Welcome. Sandra Bravo here, your host in Gold Coast of Australia with Success Resources and with Tony Robbins. Welcome. Today is Monday, a beginning of a new week. If you're in Asia, maybe it's your Independence Day, maybe it's a public holiday for you. If you're in Australia, we're in a different time today. Normally, we used to do this at 2 in the afternoon, and we thought we would try a different time to see what you like better. So today we're trying 6 p.m. in Brisbane of Australia. If you're in Asia, that's 4 in the afternoon. If you're in North America and Mexico, you're probably not here because you're sleeping, but you will be able to catch a replay later. And most importantly, if you're in Europe, it's perfect. It's 10 in the morning because you probably are not an early riser. You probably don't wake up at 6 in the morning to watch Sandra Bravo's lives. But at 10 a.m., I'm sure you are. You're either having breakfast on your way to work or whatever it is. So hopefully it's a better time for you. I know it's still summer in Europe, so that means it's nice and bright and warm, which makes it easier to get out of bed. Today, actually, 31st of August, is the last day of the month and it's the last day of winter in Australia. I am so happy. I tell you, my main element is fire. So that means I get all of my energy from the warm weather. I actually have a special room, like a sunroom in my house that it's just like a spare guest room, but it gets all the morning sun, which is beautiful. And according to my feng shui lady, the best time for me to recharge my battery is between 11 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. And that's where it's really nice and warm in there in the middle of winter. So I like to sit there with my computer and get all the sun and get warm. But I no longer have to do that because as of tomorrow, it's officially spring in Australia. And my favorite seasons of the year are spring and autumn here in Gold Coast where I live, because summer, I think it can get a little bit too humid. Winter, it's not very cold compared to many other parts of the world, but I don't like the cold, so I feel it. So spring and autumn are perfect because you can be outdoors without burning. You can sunbathe without getting blisters. You can enjoy outdoor sports without feeling like, it's too humid, you can't cope. So I love this time of the year. It's awesome. And today we're going to talk about being firm but kind. Firm but kind. That means setting up boundaries. And I know I say it all the time. I'm so excited about this topic because I love all of them. That's why I choose them, right? Because I love them and I figure they're so important topics for your personal life, for your personal growth, for your business, for your career, for your professional development. And of course, because I love it, hopefully my energy, my enthusiasm, and my passion comes across to you. Because if I can make a tiny little difference in your life today, then guess what? It made it all worth it. So just quickly, by the way, before we begin, if you don't have your ticket for UPW Virtual yet, you can still go and get it. Bring the which is going to happen September and October. It's just around the corner. It's actually going to be my birthday during UPW Virtual in September. My birthday is on the 19th of September, by the way. I'm a Virgo, and it's so exciting that I get to spend my birthday with Tony Robbins and hopefully with you if you're smart enough to register for Unleash the Power Within Virtual. What a better way to spend your birthday than you think than doing it with Tony Robbins. So I'm super excited about that. All right, so what do I mean by firm? Well, setting up boundaries, teaching others how to treat you. We teach others how to treat us. So when someone says something that bothers us, when someone treats us in a way that bothers us, guess what? There's no point in blaming. There's no point in saying stuff about them or going to complain to someone else. No, it doesn't solve anything. The best way to solve it is to take accountability. Number one, what part of the role am I playing in this situation? Why am I not stepping up to set up boundaries and to teach people how to treat me? Because if they are doing something that I don't like, if they're saying something that I don't like, or violating my rules or my space, guess what? It's nobody else's fault but yours for not communicating your desires, your boundaries, your rules, the things that are okay and the things that are not okay to do, whether it's in personal or whether it's in business. There's an amazing saying that I love, which says, the right to express doesn't give you a license to abuse. I love that. I hope you're writing it down. Grab your notebook and your pen. The right to express doesn't give you a license to abuse. And what does that mean? It means that you have all the freedom and all the right to express how you feel, to communicate how you would like to be treated. However, what do we do most often than not? We put up with it. Someone says something we don't like, someone does something that violates our values or our rules, and we just let it go. And we put up with it and we let it go and we let it go. So what happens is we're starting to get irritated, we're starting to feel resentful, and it starts piling up. And we let it go and we let it go until it builds up, and now it becomes a pressure cooker. And the next time it happens, whether it's the 5th or the 10th or the 100th time, boom, we explode like a pressure cooker. We crack it, and now we're not communicating and expressing our needs and desires in a very nice way. Now we know we're going to abuse it. Does this sound familiar? Can you relate to this? Has this ever happened to you? Do you know someone who does that? Perhaps someone that you know intimately, right? And I know especially us women, right? We just let it go. We put up with it. But guess what? Everything is energy. So that little irritation that bothers us starts to accrue, get bigger, the bigger it happens again, gets worse, and then it gets to the point where, for Christ's sake, stop doing that. Don't say that. I hate that. Right? But there was no need to let it escalate to that level at all. If we just communicate, if we are firm but kind, we are expressing how we feel and the things that we don't like and the things that, and this is the way we express it. And trust me, I'm not expert on this, all right? I just practice it every single day, and I learn it and I implement it. And of course, like any other human being, every now and then I sleep and I go, oh, and then I catch myself. The key here is to become aware of when you do it, because sometimes just being aware is enough to shift it. Sometimes you become aware and you have to consciously do something in order to shift it, right? But I know for me, it's like I've got to express it on the spot, because if I express it the very first time, guess what? You can't. It hasn't escalated. It's just a level one, little irritation. So you can say, you know what? I feel upset when you do this. See how it's not blaming? I'm not saying you did this and you did that and you said that. No, because how do you feel when someone blames you? Do you feel good about it? Do you feel like, okay, yeah, thank you for letting me know, I apologize? No, because automatically your fight or flight kicks in and you feel the need to defend yourself, right? To justify or to attack back or whatever. So if it happens to you, guess what? It happens to other human beings. So the way to start when we want to communicate is to start with yourself. I feel neglected when you go and do that by yourself and you don't include me. I feel exhausted when you don't, take your dishes back to the kitchen to your kids, for example. Or I feel disrespected when you show up late to my meeting, perhaps to your staff or whatever it is. So see, you first taking ownership of your feeling, because they have no control over how you feel. How you feel is your choice, okay? So all you can do is start by owning how you feel first, because then your subconscious is in charge. You're saying, I have the power to change how I feel. And then you can go on to what is the thing that they're doing. So you're not attacking them as a person, as a human being. You're just expressing what is the action they did, or the words they express, or whatever it is they did. So I feel this when you do that. Okay, now if you're setting up the boundaries, so be very careful with the words that you choose to use. And a very good tip for this is to learn word tracks. Okay, so if you've ever heard, sometimes you hear someone that communicates so eloquent, so elegant, so beautifully that you just go, oh my God, I wish I could speak like that person, right? Have you ever met anyone like that? If so, share on the chat below, let me know. And you just go, wow, I love the way they talk, the way they express themselves. I wish I could do it. So guess what? A really good tip is to record them or to write down the word tracks that they're using, because then you can practice. There might be a word or two that you need to change because it just fits in better with your personality. But you write the main word tracks, and then you're like, oh, I would love to say it that way next time. It sounds so much better than the way I said it, right? In business, is the same. If you're doing cold calling, or if you're on a sales call or on a coaching call, or you're enrolling someone or whatever, same thing. You can, get the word tracks of someone else who is more experienced, who's getting better results than you are, someone that you look up to, that you admire, that you respect, and then you write down the word tracks or record them so you can practice it. Because just like learning to ride your bike, the first time it just didn't come natural, right? You had to fall and scrape your knees a couple of times, and you tried again, and the more you practice, the better you became at it, right? So it's the same with using different words, vocabulary, expressing in a different way. I know for me, I often get told from my kids and others, for some reason, when I'm being serious or firm, if I'm not smiling, the feedback that I get is that I come across very, firm. So it sounds like if I'm angry, even if I'm not. So after several people tell me that, it's like, oh, maybe I need to pay attention on the way I communicate, because I don't mean to be angry. I don't mean to say it with tone, but I realize, so the way for me to bring that down is to smile. Somehow I can say the exact same thing, same voice, same words, same everything, but if I'm smiling, apparently the tone sounds completely different. Go figure. So now I pay attention, especially if I'm in a enrolling call with a client or whatever on the phone, where they can't see, obviously, if there's body language involved, it's easier, right? But if there's no body language involved, then I remember when I'm on a serious business conversation, oh, just a smile and the tone will sound softer. So that's a bizarre thing, right? But it's a little thing that makes a big difference for me. And this is the thing, think about it. Like great leaders, it's a big difference between a great leader and just a normal lousy leader, right? And some of the things that set the difference between a great leader and a mediocre one is their communication skills. How do they communicate? The choice of words that they use, the tone. How do they empower or encourage their team members rather than discourage them or put them down, right? So extraordinary leaders know how to inspire others in the way they communicate, and they empower them to do better, right? So we have some great examples. An extraordinary leader is a person who has learned how to influence others, and that includes their thoughts, their feelings, their behaviors. People like Martin Luther King, um, who else? Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Oprah, just to name a few. So, what are some of the things that make a big difference? Well, first of all, I think as a leader, having a compelling and clear vision makes a big difference, because the small visions, they don't have the power to inspire, to move others, right? It's got to be something big, outrageous, that really gets you and others excited to really buy into your vision. Another thing is that if your vision is small, you're going to be fighting for the attention of others. But when it's big enough, when it's contagious, when it starts to gain momentum and energy, people just want to come and be part of it, which is different from you trying to get the attention and nag them to come and be part of it, right? The other thing is, when you're trying to influence others for a self-serving goal, people can see through it and they don't want anything to do with it, because it's just a self-serving goal. It's just for you and your benefit, right? But what happens when you have a big goal that serves everyone, that is a win-win for everyone? It's so easy to people for people to want to jump in on board and support that vision, because you know what, as human beings, we strive for fulfillment. And fulfillment comes from helping others, making a difference in others' lives. I think we said this the other day. People usually that are depressed with anxiety or addictions or whatever is because they're lacking purpose, because they're in their own little world. They're not focused on helping others. When you focus on helping others, it makes a huge difference to you and to everyone else. And guess what? That's where the fuel comes to get you going. That's where the excitement and the passion and the fulfillment comes. So whenever you're feeling like a little bit purposeless, or you're getting the blues, or you're not very motivated, guess what? Find a way to help someone else, and you'll see how everything shifts. It's really funny. I don't know if I told you this story. I don't think I did the other day. I have a chef that cooks our meals, and she's amazing. And the kitchen and I have never been good friends. I don't like cooking at all, and I'm not good at it. And my poor kids don't like my food anyway. So it's like, why would I try to strengthen a weakness when I can just focus on the things that I'm good at and outsource everything else, right? So I hired a chef. She's amazing. She's a mother of 4 kids. So she has to cook for 6 of them anyway, her 4 kids, herself, and her husband, right? So it makes no difference for her to cook a little bit more for my family or just for her family, right? So she still has to go and buy in bulk all her fruit and vegetables and meat and everything. So she might as well buy a little bit more for us, cook for us. And she makes my celery juice in the morning. She brings me jars. Like, she just came earlier today and brought me 5 jars of my celery juice to have in the fridge. And it's amazing because her husband lost her job. So it feels really good for me to know that I'm helping her financially, but that she's helping us so much. Because for me, we're rushing the kids and I from sports, and we get home and we're starving. And if I was to go and cook, by the time I'm cooking, they already went into the pantry and filled themselves up with junk food, right? So it's so nice to be able to come home and know that there is a healthy, home cooked meal, warm and ready, waiting for us. And it's just like, oh, I feel like crying from gratitude and joy that someone is taking the time to prepare a healthy and warm, beautiful meal for me and my kids. It's amazing. So, and then I say to her, Kirsten, I'm so grateful that I found you. You're amazing. You're such a blessing. You make my life so much. My kids love your meals. I love your meals. You add so much value. And she goes, you know what? I am so grateful, Sandra, because I wake up motivated in the morning, excited, knowing that I can make a difference in your life and your kids. Even my husband comments that my energy is different because I'm excited. Like, what am I gonna cook for you? And she's all school that she will make the pasta from scratch. She will make the sushi from scratch. She will make the bread from scratch. I said to her, I have a Thermomix, right? Which is like a cooking robot. And she's like, oh, no, 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 no. I do everything from scratch, like old school, like our grandmothers used to do. And so she's amazing. I tell you what, she's such a gift. But see, she's passionate. She's good at it. And she's thanking me for bringing her purpose into her life, because waking up excited to cook for us makes her day. And I'm just like, did you realize what is you're making my life? So how beautiful is that? This is like something bigger. I'm adding value to her and her family because I'm helping them financially by, hiring her as my chef. She is adding so much value to me and my kids by cooking these beautiful, healthy meals so that we are eating healthy, home cooked meals, and we're feeling nurtured and cared for. And, we're not buying takeout and fast food all the time. And so when you have a big vision that really helps others, guess what? Everyone wants to jump on board with the difference, and that's where the fulfillment comes from. Tony Robbins is huge on this. He's all about purpose and discovering. And you know what? You have many life purposes. People think like, oh, I'm still to discover what my life purpose is. And it's like, dude, you have more than one. Or people that go, well, I thought 10 years ago I discovered my life purpose doing this or doing that, but now I'm over it. I feel like I want to do something else. And that's called evolution, because life is about growth. When I started my business nearly 10 years ago, I was mainly doing women empowerment and retreats for women and stuff. And then, I got over it after a while. But you know what? That's a journey I was on, because that's what I needed for myself back then. So that's what I was teaching and doing for others. And then it evolved. And now I'm more excited to mix business and marketing with the mindset and the leadership. I love teaching leadership. So and now it's not just women anymore, it's men and women. And so it has evolved as I grow as a person, right? It doesn't mean that, oh, my life purpose from 10 years ago was wrong, now it's different. No, you have many life purposes as you evolve and grow according to the mission of your soul. And Tony Robbins is huge in helping you discover your life purpose, encouraging, getting you into momentum to get started. And I couldn't even describe the way he does it, because the strategies, the technology that he uses are so unique. I don't know anyone else in the world who does the same. So I really hope that you are joining us for Unleash Your Power Within Virtual, which is only a few weeks away. And you can choose your dates, June, September, or October. UPW Virtual with Tony Robbins. I will be there. Maybe you and I will be in a breakout room together. So if you haven't yet, I strongly encourage you to head over to bringthefreedom.com. Bringthefreedom.com. Get your UPW virtual ticket, and I'm very excited to see you there. Now, I will see you tomorrow here, same place, same time, for another amazing lesson. Tomorrow, we're talking about the 2 millimeter change. So I hope to see you here, same place, same time. I'm Sandra Bravo, signing off from Gold Coast of Australia on behalf of Success Resources, Tony Robbins' team, and myself. Thank you for your time. I look forward to seeing you at UPW, and I will see you here tomorrow to get you prepared and more ready for your UPW virtual experience. See you then.